Assalamu alaikum students. I hope all of you will be fine. In our previous lecture, we had an introduction about the process of photosynthesis. So today we are going to start the proper detail of photosynthesis. Okay. So today we will be talking about the photosystems, and then you know that we discussed earlier that photosynthesis has two stages: light dependent reaction and light independent reactions. Out of that, we will be discussing the light dependent reactions today. Okay, so photosystems and light dependent reactions. First of all, coming to the photosynthetic pigments. Obviously, the word photosynthetic pigments indicates that these are the pigments which are involved in the process of photosynthesis. We know that pigments, they absorb certain wavelength of light, right? Different pigments, they absorb different wavelengths of light. Now, basically, photosynthetic pigments can be divided into two categories, and actually, we will be studying later on that the photosynthetic pigments can be divided into, you know, into some other categories as well on some other bases also. Okay, so this is right now we are going to talk about one division. By the end of the chapter, we have one more division to be studied as well. So right now we will be talking about this division, that photosynthetic pigments, they fall into two categories. Now, what are those categories? They are actually the primary pigments and they are accessory pigments. Before coming into the details of these, we will be discussing this point later on. That's why I did not include that point in the written form in the presentation. Okay, but just telling you verbally that basically there are various forms of photosynthetic pigments. For example, you people just know about chlorophyll. Okay, but it's not only chlorophyll, and it's not only one type of chlorophyll. Actually, we have so many other types of chlorophyll, like chlorophyll A is there, chlorophyll B is there, chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, then we have carotenoids, then we have xanthophylls as well, etc. Okay, so these are the various forms of photosynthetic pigments. Now we have to see which pigments are coming into the primary pigments and which pigments are coming into the accessory pigments. Okay, so primary pigments, basically these include two forms of chlorophyll A. Now these two forms of chlorophyll A, they are slightly different from each other. And why they are slightly different from each other? Because they have a slight different absorption peaks. Like one form of chlorophyll A, that is with an absorption peak of 700 nanometer, while the other form of chlorophyll A, that is with an absorption peak of 618 nanometer. Now remember that these things are not in the syllabus, but at least because previously in the old syllabus these values were included, but now they don't include it. But at least you should be knowing about it. It's no harm to memorize just these two values. Okay, so primary pigments include two forms of chlorophyll A. Remember that A is always written as a small a. So chlorophyll A, and these two forms of chlorophyll A, they are slightly different from each other. And why they are slightly different from each other? Because they have a slight different absorption peaks. Okay, one form of chlorophyll A with an absorption peak of 700 nanometer, while the other form of chlorophyll A with an absorption peak of 680 nanometer, right? Then what does come in the accessory pigments? Accessory pigments, they include the other forms of chlorophyll A. As I told you, there are other forms of chlorophyll A as well. Okay, chlorophyll B and carotenoids. Okay, so other forms of chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B and carotenoids, they are included in the accessory pigments. Now we come to the photosystems. Now you see these pigments are obviously present on, you must have studied the structure of chloroplast, though we are going to study in detail the structure of chloroplast in this chapter as well, but I'm sure you people have read about it. And you know about thylakoid. If you don't know about the thylakoid, we can for the time being skip it right now, because we are going to study it with the structure of chloroplast. But just remember that there are thylakoid membranes. Okay, Now what happens, these pigments, I'm talking about these accessory pigments and primary pigments, they are arranged in the form of clusters, okay. uh, and these clusters are called, actually these simply talking, they are the light harvesting clusters, okay. Ab light harvesting clusters, you can understand why they are called as the light harvesting, because these pigments are going to absorb the light energy, so that's why they are called as the light harvesting clusters. So these pigments, they're arranged in the form of clusters. Cluster means a group, right? In the form of clusters, and these are light harvesting clusters. But technically speaking, these light harvesting clusters, they are called as photosystems. Okay. So what are the photosystems? They are the light harvesting clusters of what? Of these pigments. Which pigments? Primary pigments and accessory pigments. Okay. Now what is present in each photosystem? Basically, there is one primary pigment molecule in each photosystem, right? And that is surrounded by like several hundred accessory pigment molecule surround one primary pigment molecule in each photosystem, right? So what is present in each photosystem? One primary pigment molecule and several hundred accessory pigment molecules, okay. And these several hundred accessory pigment molecules, they are surrounding that one primary pigment molecule, okay. And basically this type of arrangement, it ensures the efficient or the maximum light absorption by these pigments, okay. Now in each photosystem, actually these pigments, they're arranged in funnel like structures. I will show you the diagram later on, how do I say that the funnel like structures are there, okay. But just remember for the time being now, that in each system, in each photosystem, these pigments are arranged in funnel like structures, okay. And remember that, as I said, that in each photosystem a primary pigment molecule is present, while there are several hundred accessory pigment molecule. That primary pigment molecule in each photosystem, that is, we say it is acting as a reaction center. So primary pigment molecule in each photosystem, that is called as reaction center, okay. So what is the reaction center? I will repeat it again. Primary pigment molecule of each photosystem is acting as its reaction center, or it is called as its reaction center, okay. Now there are two types of photosystems, photosystem 1 and photosystem 2, okay. Now what is the difference between photosystem 1 and photosystem 2? Because we know that in each photosystem, what is present? One primary pigment molecule and several hundred accessory pigment molecules, okay. So so what is the difference between these two photosystems, photosystem 1 and photosystem 2? In photosystem 1, chlorophyll A, which is present, because we say there is one primary pigment molecule, and we know that what are the primary pigment molecules? These are the two forms of chlorophyll A with slightly different absorption peak, one with 700 nanometer and the other one with 680 nanometer. So in photosystem 1, the chlorophyll A which is present, that has an absorption peak of 700 nanometer, okay. And in photosystem 2, chlorophyll A, which is present here, that has an absorption peak of 680 nanometer. So this is how the two photosystems are different from each other. Otherwise, obviously, we will not be talking about the accessory pigment molecules, because there are several hundred accessory pigment molecules, which may be the other forms of chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, and carotenoids, okay. So basically specificity comes in terms of primary pigment molecule. In photosystem A, the form of chlorophyll A which is present here, that has an absorption peak of 700 nanometer, while in photosystem 2, the chlorophyll A which is present, that has an absorption peak of 680 nanometer. So this is how the two photosystems are different from each other. Now what happens, we say light energy is absorbed by the pigment molecules. How, what is the sequence of, like how, which pigment molecules are going to absorb the light energy first? Basically, light as energy is absorbed by accessory pigment molecules first. Okay, then you see, as we said, in each photosystem there are several hundred accessory pigment molecules. So each accessory pigment molecule passes energy to the next member of the cluster. Okay, and then finally from all the accessory pigment molecules, energy is fed to the chlorophyll A, which is the reaction center of the photosystem. Okay, I hope this is clear. I will repeat it again. Light is and light energy is absorbed by the accessory pigment molecules, right, which are present on the top, and then each accessory pigment molecule is going to pass on the energy to the next member of the cluster, and then finally from all the accessory pigment molecules, energy is passed to the chlorophyll A, which is the reaction center of the photosystem. Now this is, you see, this is what we are saying, like this is a thylakoid membrane, and you can see these pigments are arranged in the form of funnel like structure. Now you will see here the primary, this is the primary pigment reaction molecule. Actually, I didn't look at the diagram before inserting it. There is a confusion here, but you people don't get it confused. You just look at this diagram in the book. Okay, uh, these are all actually because we will not go into the some more complexity at this level. We have to study up to the level which is as per the requirement of the syllabus. Okay, so remember that this is the primary pigment molecule, which is the reaction center, and all this is the accessory pigment molecules. So you can see over here, light energy is absorbed by the accessory pigment molecules, then passing on to the next, to the next, to the next member, and finally the light energy is passed to the primary pigment molecule, which is the reaction center. So this is how light energy is absorbed, and you can see this primary pigment molecule, the, like there are many, like obviously over here a few accessory pigment molecules are shown, but otherwise there are several hundred. So several hundred accessory pigment molecules, they are surrounding the primary pigment molecule, which is the reaction center of the photosystem, right? And you can see over here once again, this is how the pigment molecules are arranged in the form of a funnel like structure. Okay, so now we come to the light dependent reaction. This was all about the photosystems. Now light dependent reactions, basically it involve two main processes. Okay, one is photophosphorylation, ये थोड़ा सा हमने डिस्कस भी किया था उस दिन. Okay, one is the photophosphorylation, second is the photolysis of water. Now you see, in with both the processes the word photo comes. Photo means light, right? So obviously, why do we add the word of photo? Because these processes, for these processes to take place, light energy is required, light energy is must. So that's why the word photo is added here. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे सबसे पहले आते हैं photo phosphorylation पे. Photo means light, phosphorylation means addition of a phosphate group. ठीक है, now phosphate group किस में ऐड हो रहा है बेसिकली यहाँ पे, that is to the ADP, right? So there is addition of one inorganic phosphate to ADP, and we know that whenever inorganic phosphate combines with ADP, this leads to the synthesis of ATP. And remember that this phosphorylation of ADP to ATP, that is taking place in the presence of light energy. That's why this is called as photophosphorylation. ठीक है, अब जो photophosphorylation है, that can be cyclic, it can be non-cyclic as well, and then depends on the pattern of flow of electrons in one or both types of photosystem. Okay, so I will repeat it again, that the process of photophosphorylation, it can be cyclic photophosphorylation, it can be non-cyclic photophosphorylation, and it depends on the pattern of flow of electron in one or both types of photosystems. ठीक है, बट जनरली स्पीकिंग रिमेंबर दैट कि जो साइक्लिक का प्रोसेस है ये यूजुअली बैक्टीरिया में होता है, दोज बैक्टीरिया विच आर फोटोसिंथेटिक, ओके, फोटोसिंथेटिक बैक्टीरिया। और जो नॉन साइक्लिक है ना ये प्लांट्स में होता है, डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज द टू। Now we come to the next, the photolysis of water. Again, lysis means splitting, photo means light, it means splitting a water molecule in the presence of light energy, okay. For obviously this process again light energy is required, that's why this is one of the light independent reactions, okay. Obviously when water gets, we will be talking about the splitting later on in detail, but just an outline here that when water gets split into its constituents, ठीक है, तो constituents में क्या होता है, obviously electrons are there, hydrogen ions are there and oxygen is there, ठीक है। अब hydrogen ions जो है ना basically उसके साथ क्या होता है कि hydrogen ions they combine, once again there is a if you remember we talked about one hydrogen carrier molecule in the respiration, we talked about three different types of hydrogen carrier molecules in respiration, and you people may you remember right now, it was one was NAD, one was FAD. NAD and FAD, they were both involved in the process of respiration, while we talked about another third type of hydrogen carrier molecule, and that was NADP, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, remember. So and we discussed at that time even that this is the hydrogen carrier molecule which is involved in the process of photosynthesis. Now comes the role of NADP. So basically NADP is going to accept these hydrogen ions. So once hydrogen ions they combine with this carrier molecule which is NADP, so as a result NADP gets reduced, okay. Now remember that there are the two products of light dependent reaction, one is reduced NADP, the other is ATP, ठीक है। ATP आपका कहाँ बनता है, फोटोफॉस्फोरिलेशन में, ठीक है। और NADP कहाँ बनता है, as a result of photolysis of water, when hydrogen ions are released, these hydrogen ions are going to be picked up by the NADP, and as a result of that it gets reduced. Both ATP and reduced NADP, they are passed from the light dependent reaction to light independent reaction. Okay, now we'll be talking about photophosphorylation, and firstly about cyclic photophosphorylation. अब cyclic you can understand, cycle हमेशा हम उसी reaction को बोलते हैं, from where we start it's going to end up at the same points, ठीक है। So that's why this is called as cyclic. Remember that cyclic photophosphorylation only involves photosystem 1, ठीक है, no involvement of photosystem 2 there, okay। Now what happens, now remember this question is often coming in Cambridge papers, and 1 point carries 1 mark here, ठीक है, like how the points are there. Once again, light energy is absorbed by accessory pigment molecules. First marking point involves photosystem 1 only. Then light is absorbed by accessory pigment molecules, right? Then light is passed to the primary pigment molecule. What happens when primary pigment molecule, which is a chlorophyll A, when it is going to absorb the all, you know, light energy absorbed from all the accessory pigment, passed on from all the accessory pigment molecules, what happens, electron in the chlorophyll molecule, it gets excited. When it gets excited on receiving that energy, it goes to a high energy level, ठीक है। अब वो जो when it goes to a high energy level, it's not going to remain inside the chlorophyll A molecule, it's going to be emitted from the chlorophyll molecule, ठीक है। अब इसकी जो details है ना basically कि how electron is emitted and all that, it's not the part of the syllabus, so we will not be discussing that detail as well, ठीक है। So just remember that when primary pigment molecule is going to absorb the light energy, on the absorption of light energy, that leads to the excitation of electron to a high energy level. As a result of that, that excited electron gets emitted from the chlorophyll molecule. This is called as photoactivation. Photo means once again light, activation, activation किसकी, chlorophyll electron की, ठीक है। So electron gets activated on receiving the light energy, so this is called as photoactivation. अब इलेक्ट्रॉन के साथ, अब वो जो इलेक्ट्रॉन emit हुआ है, though it is at a high energy level, but it is in अनस्टेबल फॉर्म, ठीक है। अब वो अनस्टेबल फॉर्म में प्रॉबेबली नहीं बल्कि डेफिनेटली हो सकता है कि इट कैन फॉल बैक इनटू द फोटो सिस्टम इमीडिएटली, मतलब ये फौरन उसी टाइम पे वापस अपने क्लोरोफिल ए में चला जाए, ठीक है। लेकिन उसका नुकसान क्या होगा? If it falls back immediately into the photosystem means going back to the chlorophyll A molecule, क्योंकि उसने अपने इलेक्ट्रॉन्स भी तो पूरे करने हैं ना, ठीक है। तो क्या होता है कि the energy it has got, it's going to lose that energy either as thermal energy or as fluorescence. So in both the ways it's going to be wasted. So what happens? Rather, instead it falls back to the photosystem and loses its energy as thermal energy or fluorescence. What happens there? This excited electron is captured by an electron acceptor, and after being captured by an electron acceptor, it passes through a series of electron carriers, through a chain of electron carriers, ठीक है। And then after passing through that chain of electron carrier, it comes back to its chlorophyll A molecule, ठीक है। अब इस तरह से क्या होता है, actually those electron carriers, they are arranged in the uh, in the descending order of their energy level, ठीक है। So basically when electron is going to pass from one electron carrier to another down the energy level, it's going to release its energy. अब वो वाली जो, क्योंकि अगर रिमेंबर हमने जो पहले बात की है कि अगर इलेक्ट्रॉन उस वक्त फ़ौरन वापस अपने फोटो सिस्टम में चला जाए तो वो एनर्जी उसकी वेस्ट हो जाएगी, आइदर एज थर्मल एनर्जी और फ्लोरेसेंस। बट व्हेन इट्स गोइंग टू बी कैप्चर्ड बाय एन इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्सेप्टर, रिमेंबर दैट इट्स जस्ट लाइक दैट व्हेन वी टॉक्ड अबाउट इलेक्ट्रॉन ट्रांसपोर्ट चेन, ठीक है। उसमें भी इलेक्ट्रॉन्स जो है व्हेन दे पास थ्रू दोज इलेक्ट्रॉन कैरियर्स down the energy level, they are that energy is going to be released. And remember that that energy which was released, that is used for the synthesis of ATP, same is the process taking place over here as well, डिट्टो द सेम प्रोसेस, ठीक है। सिर्फ फर्क क्या आ जाता है कि वहाँ पे माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया की इनर माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल मेम्ब्रेन इन्वॉल्व थी, यहाँ पे आपकी थैलाकॉइड की मेम्ब्रेन इन्वॉल्व है, ठीक है। So that excited electron is captured by an electron acceptor, and after passing through a series of electron carrier, it is passed back to the chlorophyll molecule. And when that excited electron is passing through a chain of electron carrier, enough energy is released during this process, and that energy is utilized to synthesize ATP from ADP and inorganic phosphate by the process of chemiosmosis. The same process, remember कि उसमें भी क्या होता है कि जो हाइड्रोजन आयंस हैं वो they are passing through our transporter protein, and that part of that protein is acting as ATPase, same as the process here. But remember that when we are discussing the photophosphorylation, we are not discussing the process of chemiosmosis in detail, but we have to use this terminology over here that carries one marking point, just writing the term of chemiosmosis, right? And then ATP, which is synthesized, that passes to the light independent reactions. Okay. And now this is an overall diagram. You can just see over here, it involves only photosystem 1, which is which is having a chlorophyll A with 700 nanometer absorption peak, and end product is only ATP. Okay, so you can see over here, photosystem 1, it is going to absorb the light energy, obviously the same way accessory pigment, then passing on to the light energy to the primary pigment, then electrons are emitted, okay, and then electron passing through a series of electron carriers. You can see it passes through a series of electron carrier and coming back to the photosystem, means coming back to the primary pigment molecule. And during this process, energy is released, which is used for the synthesis of ATP from ADP and inorganic phosphate. Now we come to the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Now you can see over here, remember कि cyclic में सिर्फ ATP बनता है, no photolysis of water is there, ठीक है। Non-cyclic photophosphorylation, non-cyclic photophosphorylation that is associated with the photolysis of water. अब यहाँ पे अगर आप देखो फर्स्ट डिफरेंस कम्स, साथ साथ हम कंपेयर भी करते जाते हैं इसको, ठीक है। Cyclic involves only photosystem 1, non-cyclic involves both photosystem 1 and 2 as well, ठीक है। basic process remains the same. Remember that whenever you are going to write down about non-cyclic photophosphorylation, we have to write down all those points. Even even book में उन्होंने photo activation यहाँ पे mention नहीं किया हुआ, but you have to write about the photo activation. Writing just the word of photo activation carries 1 marking point. ठीक है? So once again, light energy absorbed by both the photosystems. Both the photosystem means light energy absorbed by the accessory pigment molecules of both the photosystem, passing on the energy ultimately to the primary pigment molecule. ठीक है? और फिर electrons get excited after going to a high energy level, after on receiving the light energy, and then those electrons are emitted from the from this chlorophyll, from their own chlorophyll molecules, right? And after that, this is called as photoactivation. Okay, once again electrons are captured by the electron acceptors and passing through a series of electron carriers. लेकिन cyclic में तो ये था ना कि photosystem 1 था, वहाँ से electron निकला passing through a series of electron carriers and then coming back to the photosystem 1. ठीक है, लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या होता है, सबसे पहले if you see that in non-cyclic photophosphorylation, that these electrons, they pass along the chains of the electron carriers, and obviously once they have left their photosystems, they are positively charged. ठीक है, अब photosystem ने वापस अपने electrons लेने हैं. So how they are going to take that? Basically what happens, जो primary pigment of photosystem 1 है, that is going to absorb the absorb the electrons from photosystem 2. If you see, photosystem 2 is coming here, ये इसके electrons हैं, they are going like this after passing through a series of electron carriers like this. तो photosystem 1 जो है वो अपने electron कहाँ से ले लेता है, photosystem 2 के electron. ठीक है, और photosystem 2 अपने replacement electron कहाँ से लेता है, from the photolysis of water. Remember, when the photolysis of water take place, तो constituents क्या हैं, 2 electrons, 2 hydrogen ions, हाफ ऑक्सीजन मॉलिक्यूल. ठीक है, तो ये जो 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं ये किसको चले जाते हैं, फोटोसिस्टम 2 को. फोटोसिस्टम 2 के जो 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं आफ्टर पासिंग थ्रू अ सीरीज ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन कैरियर्स किसको चले जाते हैं, फोटोसिस्टम 1 को. ठीक है, आई विल रिपीट इट अगेन. Once excited electrons, they are emitted from both the photosystems. Both the photosystems, they are left positively charged. They have to take back their electrons. ठीक है, तो photosystem 1 अपने इलेक्ट्रॉन कहाँ से ले लेता है, photosystem 2 से, और photosystem 2 अपने replacement electron कहाँ से लेता है, from the photolysis of water. ठीक है, और जो photosystem 1 के electrons हैं वो यहाँ पे आ जाते हैं, और ये जो 2 hydrogen ions हैं, these 2 hydrogen ions, 2 electrons, they are going to reduce this, they are going to be picked up by this NADP, and as a result this is going to be reduced. ठीक है, और यहाँ पे अगर हम देखें तो जो ऑक्सीजन है that is the waste product of this process. ठीक है, so and on the way, when the electrons, they are passing through the series of electron carriers, energy is released. That energy is used for the synthesis of ATP from ADP and inorganic phosphate. This is incorrectly written here because I took this picture from the net, but I will replace it later on. Okay, but you people just correct it. It is ADP, not ATP. Okay. So that's going to lead to the formation of ATP, and by the process of chemiosmosis. So what are the products of non-cyclic photophosphorylation now here? It's reduced NADP and ATP. So both these two products, they are passed from the light dependent reaction to the light independent reaction. So we will have an overview here as well. अच्छा, एक और चीज़, द लेफ्ट, ये जो नॉन साइक्लिक फोटोफॉस्फोरिलेशन है इसको हम जी स्कीम भी बोलते हैं, जेड स्कीम और जी स्कीम ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन फ्लो. इट्स समवट लाइक, लुक्स लाइक अ जी, a z, right? So that's why it's called as the Z scheme of electron flow. So it involves both the photosystem, also called Z scheme, light absorbed by both the photosystem, excited electrons emitted. But as I said कि अगर हम जब इसके बारे में particularly लिखते हैं तो हमें डिटेल में फिर से लिखना है कि जब हम कहते हैं light absorbed by both the photosystem, what does it mean? It means light absorbed by the accessory pigments and then passed to the primary pigments of both the reaction centers. As excited electrons emitted from the reaction centers. This is called photoactivation, then captured by electron acceptors, passed along the chains of electron carriers. Photosystems are left positively charged because of the emission of chlorophyll molecules, because of the emission of electrons. Then primary pigment of photosystem 1 absorbs electron from photosystem 2. Primary pigment of photosystem 2 receives replacement electron from the splitting of water. ATP synthesized from ADP and inorganic phosphate using energy which the electron lose while passing along the chain of electron carriers by the process of chemiosmosis. So ATP passes from light dependent to light independent reaction. Now we come to the photolysis of water. Remember that photosystem 2 includes a water splitting enzyme. Okay? This enzyme catalyzes the breakdown of water in the presence of light energy. Oxygen is a waste product of this process. Hydrogen ions, they combine with electrons from the photosystem 1 and carrier molecule NADP, so giving reduced NADP. Reduced NADP passes to the light independent reaction and used in the synthesis of carbohydrates. Okay? Photolysis of water can be investigated by the Hill reaction. That was an experiment done by a scientist whose name was Robert Hill. That's why this is called as the Hill reaction. We will be talking about the Hill reaction in detail in the next lesson. Okay? And then you see an equation form for the photolysis of water. You can see two hydrogen ions, two electrons, half oxygen. This goes to two electrons, they are going to go to the photosystem 2, or hydrogen ions obviously going to be picked up by an ATP, and as a result it's going to be reduced. And this is how the reduced NADP is formed. Two hydrogen, two electrons from photosystem 1 and NADP, और ये hydrogen ion कहाँ से आते हैं? For the splitting of water, and as a result reduced NADP is formed. So this was all about the light dependent reactions and photosystem. I'm sure everything must be clear. If you are not, if you have any confusion anywhere, please call me for that. Okay.